So as many of you guys know, Ken Carson has been known for this like rage, lit, turned up mosh pit type of music, right? And throughout the entirety of Ken's career so far, that's been more so like the primary focus of his music. And I feel like Ken has always tried to switch it up, but it's been in very small dosages and it's been almost like in deluxes. We've seen Ken Carson really switch up his sound. The AGC Deluxe compared to AGC is really like night and day. Same thing with Extended compared to X, right? It's always been in small dosages and it's really worked, right? He's had a lot of successful songs, such as Overseas, I Need You. He's always had success with these different types of sounding songs from Ken, but we've never truly seen Ken fully dive into that sound with a project, and Ken just revealed that might be the next sound going into the next project, following More Chaos. So let's get into it. So like I said earlier, Ken Carson has always been trying to dish out a new type of sound opposed to the rage sound, but it's been in very small dosages, right? We've seen it with songs like I Need You. We've seen it with songs like Overseas. We've seen it in Extended alongside AGC Deluxe format, but it's been in very small. It's never really been like a full-length project. AGC Deluxe was like 6-7 songs, and then we've seen Extended probably like around 5 songs, something like that. So it's always been in small dosages. Yeah, about 5 songs right here. We've seen it. Ken Carson switched it up, Extended to X, AGC to AGC Deluxe, and I feel like that's a sound a lot of Ken fans really want, especially following his last project being More Chaos, because we've seen with the More Chaos track list, it was basically, I'd say, 85% rage, like hardcore, crazy, lit, turnt, mosh energy rage, and then there was like small sprinkles of different types of sounds, right? We've seen it with songs on this track list like Psycho. We've seen it with Thanks. We also seen it with Down to Earth, but that was really it. There's only like less than maybe a handful of songs that are really just a complete different type of vibe compared to the More Chaos energy he was going. And it makes sense. More Chaos was supposed to be lit, turnt, rage. He did what he needed to do, but I feel like after this, a lot of people kind of got a little bit tired of this rage sound. That was definitely the case for me. I was just kind of like raged out, I guess, if that's a word, but like this was too much energy for me. I really had to be in a certain setting to play More Chaos for myself, and this is definitely, in my opinion, Ken's weakest work. It was just too loud, like too much for me, to be honest. Maybe I'm Unk, I don't know, but I don't go to More Chaos whatsoever, right? So following More Chaos, everybody's seen, he take it from AGC to More Chaos. What's the next, plan for Ken? What type of sound is Ken gonna lean towards? Is he gonna take it even up a notch from More Chaos? What does that even sound like? And then we've seen that Ken's next album following More Chaos is gonna be called The Experiment. So a lot of people are like, yo, it's called The Experiment. What does that really mean? Nobody really knows what direction that's going to be sounding like. There's just a small, maybe handful of snippets Ken has given us post More Chaos, and it seems like Ken is pointing the fans towards the direction he's going to be going with his next project. He just did a festival out in Romania earlier today, and I don't know what the question they asked him, but this was his response. So let's get into this interview.
I think I want to go like more melodic. I'm going to get like more overseas type songs.
Okay. And that is exact, bro. That's what we need, bro.
Yeah. Like you feel like you got what you needed to get off your chest, say what you need to say, and now you want to like play the game.
Yeah, now I want to make some shit for the girls.
Yeah, the baddies. The baddies love you, real.
The baddies run the fucking world. I think I want to go like.
Yo, Ken is funny. Ken is funny, bro. I don't know why, but Ken is just funny to me, right? But we noticed from that question, he said, "I'm gonna get more melodic, more overseas type songs. Now I want to make some stuff for the girls because the baddies run the world," right? But basically what he said is, I'm getting more melodic, more overseas type of music, and that is exactly what we need. That is what I've been asking from Ken for a very long time, right? Even before More Chaos was dropping, I was like, yo, what direction is More Chaos gonna sound like? I was thinking he's gonna kind of do a 50-50 split, like a no stylist type of album, meaning, there's gonna be the lit, turnt rage songs, and then maybe see the second half like a Psycho, because Psycho's a big snippet at the time, and then maybe like more of the AGC Deluxe, because that was his last body of work prior to More Chaos, right? So I was thinking, are we getting more of that AGC Deluxe type of sound eventually, like we said earlier? That was not the case with More Chaos, but following More Chaos with The Experiment, his next album, that does seem to be the case. Hopefully, and I feel like Ken has kind of been, seeing a lot of the comments, seeing where the community is kind of drifting. A lot of people are like, yo, More Chaos was cool, but a lot of people want Ken Carson, switch it up. Obviously, like I said, Ken Carson has built himself on the rage sound. I'm pretty sure like Ken in 2025 really is like the leader and the face of rage, turnt lit type of music. Like when you think of rage, when you think of turning up, when you think of mosh pits, when you think of like going to Rolling Loud and really turning up, I think of Ken Carson. But I feel like a lot of people are kind of getting tired tired of that, including myself. So for Ken to say this, I'm extremely hyped because I'm a big fan of that sound that Ken did describe, right? More overseas, more I Need You, specifically more songs like the AGC Deluxe, like Extended. We need more songs like, you know, Swag Overload. We need more songs like Shoot. We need more Fashion Habits type songs, right? You could still like turn up and it's gonna do well at concerts because Overseas is a great concert live. I Need You performs really well live, but it's not like that, you know, 808 knocking, you know, ear piercing, ear rape type of sound that I felt was catered towards with More Chaos. So this is very, very good. And I wonder how Ken is gonna structure this album. Is he just gonna fully dive deep into this sound? Now for me, in my opinion, I don't really think that's the best case scenario because Ken, like I said, still makes great turn up music. And when you go into a Ken album, I feel like that's the sound you expect. And I mean, there's really nothing wrong with the turn up music. Like in my opinion, I'm not too crazy with it in 2025, but it's still performing well, right? Who cares about my opinion, right? Black Rockstar, 23 M's, Trap Jump is still lit. We've seen, you know, Ken Carson perform More Chaos live at the festivals. It's jumping like it's never been before, right? So it's definitely still expected, and I think it still works 1000%. But I feel like if he expands that sound more and, you know, just doesn't give us like a handful, 3-4 songs like he did with More Chaos, like I said, for the longest time, just make a no stylist album. Half a melodic type sound with songs like, you know, Overseas, I Need You, and Psycho, and then just give us like the regular, you know, turn up Ken Carson type sounds. I think that's gonna be a very successful album if he does so. So we'll see when this next Ken album does release. I'm not really expecting it anytime soon. He just dropped More Chaos. Pretty sure earliest, I'm thinking maybe 2026, but this is very, very good for me as a Ken fan, and I know a lot of fans are going to dig this sound 1000%. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What's your guys' thoughts on Ken giving more of the melodic sound? If you guys like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. So MONEYMAY is it, and I'm out. Thank you guys.